Hi everyone and welcome back to the Syberia Designs YouTube channel. It's Erica with you today, and today we're going to be playing with some of the Lindy's gang shakers. So these are the 2.0s, and I've got some delicious colors here in pinkies up pink. We have pasta jam Jane, Cheerio cherry. There's also Have a Scene Heather, Lizzie's Cup of Tea Teal, and also a London Summer Sage. I am also going to be using some of the products from the October release, specifically the Trendy Pattern Cover Die, You Are Loved Word Die, and also the Chic Roses layering dies. But first we're going to make some pretty paper so that we can cut out our roses and our leaves from some pretty super unique paper. So I've got some watercolor paper here. I've got a big brush. I've also got a little mister, and I'm going to just kind of see what happens. Yeah, that tends to be the way I do things in my craft room. So I'm spritzing a little bit of water on the paper just so that the powders will stick, and then I'm just sprinkling. So the genius things about these 2.0 ones is that they have like little shaker holes in the top, so it doesn't just come out like all in one go. So you have a little bit more control, I feel. It's almost like think of a salt and pepper shaker, you know, like where you kind of tap and it comes out a little bit at a time. So the first color is the Pinkies Up Pink, and it has some delicious little like dark pink bits in there that just, I wasn't expecting those like fuchsia streaks there, but that was a nice surprise. And then I thought I needed to kind of just darken it up a little bit. So I'm sprinkling on a little bit of Pasta Jam Jane as well. This looked really purple. Purple? No, not purple. Orange. I don't know my colors today. It looked really orange when it came onto the paper, but it actually is more of a sort of corally color, I would say. But I didn't want to overwork this piece, so we're gonna let that dry, and then we're going to move on to some Lizzie's Cup of Tea Teal. Now, let me tell you, oh yeah, they're not called magical for nothing, because just watch how it reacts when I sprinkle this onto that wet paper. It's just so good. It immediately reacts with the water that's already on the paper, and it just, I mean, it's mesmerizing to watch. It really truly is. And teal is one of my favorite colors. This is kind of blue, pink, and teal, which I know is very like, not very surprising, I suppose. But we're going to spritz a little bit more water on top of here and just kind of let it do its thing. And then I'm going to dry it a little bit with my heat tool, just so that I don't lose some of that sort of like fun and movement. Because when I spritzed all of that water on top afterwards, it did make the paper buckle a little bit, which is why you see me like pressing down. And by heating or drying this deliciousness with the heat tool, it just kind of helps preserve some of that fun and movement as well. And yeah, it just, it came out so fun. So they're messy, but fun. And you will get some fantastic and unique results, which is basically what I wanted. So I've got the two panels here. This is much later. I think this was like the next day. I made sure that they are really dry, and then we are going to use the gorgeous Chic Roses layering dies on these. So we're gonna actually first chop up the sort of pinky corally piece, and we're gonna do one big one, and then we're going to do some smaller flowers, because I wanted kind of like a big cluster of roses. So I wanted to also use my little Hero Art compact cutter. So I'm trying to kind of trim this piece so that it will first of all fit in the compact cutter, and then also so that I will definitely get lots of flowers in, or out of them, I should say. So the fun thing about the Hero Arts compact cutter is that it comes with two plates. That's all you need. You add your paper and your die cut, and off you go. You're off to the races. So I cut out a lot of pieces here. And I actually, at first I was thinking I'm going to do the biggest piece in the darkest, and then it's going to go lighter and lighter. But then I thought, actually, that's not really how roses look. So they tend to be darkest in the middle. So I decided to go the opposite way around, just to kind of also help the layering pieces on top stand out a little bit more. So I ended up with 4 flowers in total because I used every single little bit of scrap I could. And I did end up doing exactly the same with the leaves as well. So you will see me cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, and even cutting out incomplete pieces because there was enough there to kind of give a leaf shape, but maybe not using the whole die cut. And these I plan on kind of tucking in behind some of the flowers, just to, you know, kind of bulk out the leafiness. That you can say that, bulk out the leafiness, right? Or leaf out the leafiness. Anyway, I wanted as many leaves as I could possibly get in there. So yeah, I was on a roll. There's no denying it. But I did end up with a bunch of amazing flowers. So we're going to use a little bit of liquid glue and add these together. Now, you can use the sort of the guide on the back of the packaging to kind of, if you really want them to be layered up exactly as they were intended. But I kind of wanted all of my flowers to look just a little bit different. So I've just kind of glued them a little bit willy-nilly. So gone from like smallest to the next size, to the next size, to the next size, until I've used all of the pieces. And I love the fact that you can just, you know, mix and match and make every single flower look a little bit different. Because even though they are roses that, you know, rose varieties that look super perfect all of the time, in nature, you will hardly ever find a single flower that look exactly the same as the other one. So I wanted to add a little bit of sort of like natural variety to it. And when I have had all of these flowers ready, I was like, you know what, we're going to start puzzling these together, and we're going to add in lots and lots and lots of leaves because, you know, why cut out all of those leaves if you're not going to use them? So you will see here that some of these pieces are like complete, and then some of them are, you can see like in the right hand corner that they are the kind of ones that have been cut out that are not complete. So I tucked them in where it wouldn't show that they were not complete. So nobody would know unless you watch this video, of course, then you will know. So when I was happy with my arrangement, I'm using my present seal that I use all the time. I am slightly obsessed with present seal, but it's just such a brilliant, brilliant invention. So shout out to Ken McGuire for coming up with this and supplying all of us in the crafty world with some much needed sort of order. So yeah, you don't want to waste all that time when you have arranged everything the way you want them and then try to replicate that onto a card, because yeah, it's just, it takes a lot of time. So with this, we are then going to actually get on with the card making. So off camera, I have used the Trendy Patterns cover die on white card stock, and then I've also cut out the You Are Loved word die, and I've cut it out twice out of and layered them up so that you get a little bit of height. And then to make sure that all of these pieces of the cover die stay in, we're going to use some double-sided tape. This is like a 5 centimeter wide double-sided tape that I got from a Spanish crafting shop. So, you know, you'll be able to find this. If you're in America, you'll be able to find this in places like scrapbook.com, probably Simon Says Stamp. All of those places, it's like a staple. So just look for the widest one that they have. And I think there is actually a company somewhere that has one that is 4 1/4 inches wide. So it would do like a whole card base in like just one piece. So that's pretty handy. So I had to puzzle a little bit here just to make sure that every single piece was attached to the other so they don't like fall out. Especially that would be a little bit embarrassing. You send this card and then somebody gets it out of the envelope and all of these pieces start falling out. They'd be like, oh, Erica doesn't know how to glue a card together. But to also make sure that this goes on straight onto a card base, we're going to be adding a little bit of liquid glue. And the reason for this is so that that double-sided tape doesn't immediately adhere to the card base. So you can actually line it up and make sure that it is on straight. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna go on wonky. You're not gonna end up with a card that, you know, you have to chop off like a 1/2 centimeter and then it's all wonky and all this and that. So this is a super handy tip if you're adding a whole kind of panel to a card base. It just, it gives you those extra few seconds to just add everything on, and it goes on straight. On the back of the flowers, we are also going to be using some double-sided tape because there's already enough like texture and layer on this card. I think foam tape would be slight overkill. I mean, I know, and that's me saying that. I love layers and dimension and texture and all of that, but even I am like, no girl, you need to lay off the foam tape for this one for sure. But it also does help if you're if you have lots and lots and lots of pieces like this. Instead of having to use a huge amount of foam tape, use a little bit of double-sided tape. If you then want to use foam tape as well, put the double-sided tape first, because it will just keep everything together, and then you can use the foam tape like purely to raise it up. So this is going to go onto our card base, and I'm trying to line it up so that the leaf won't stick off too much at the bottom there. So this one I will be able to just bend so that I don't have to actually chop it off, because I do like, you know, having a little bit of stuff sticking out outside of the actual card base. And then we're going to peel and reveal, and that is, you know, that's the flowers done. So the sentiment, we're going to add that quite simply to the card, just color it down. I decided to go over the roses rather than in the corner there where the leaves are, because it stood out a little bit better. And, you know, this is such a sweet sentiment that you really want people to kind of see it and be like, "Aw, thanks." Yeah. So with that added, you would think that I would stop there. But no. This is Erica. I am a blingaholic. We're going to be bringing out the bling-a-ling-ling. Oh, yes, we are. So I have gone kind of tame with some clear sparkling sequins. So these are from Pretty Pink Posh, and they come in all sorts of different sizes. So I really love the big ones. I tend to tuck them in like behind leaves, and then add some like smaller ones to kind of fan out from there. But I mean, I have no control when it comes to the bling. It just the bling controls me pretty much. So we're gonna add a sprinkling. Yeah, a big sprinkling, but yeah, it's still a sprinkling of these sparkles, and I'm using some like cross tweezers just to get them out, and then I'm going to be using like a jewel picker to actually pick them up when I know where they are, and we're just gonna add a little bit of liquid glues to glue them down. But yeah, I mean, you might not be on the same bling-a-ling level as me, but you know, this card could do without the bling, but I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do it. I don't ever really need an excuse for bling-a-ling. I could probably put that on every single card I make, even the masculine ones. Yes, I know. Crazy, right? So this is the new Bling Buddy tool from Crossy Meraki, and we're going to be using some Barely Art glue to just pick that up, and yeah, and we're just gonna glue these little beauties down, and then we're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we're gonna send this to someone special. Yeah. So something else to just remind you all, if you're watching, today is the 31st, which means it is also reveal day of the people who won the giveaway from the collaboration Hop. So there are 4 £25 gift vouchers up for grabs, 2 from Syberia and 2 from Lindy's gang. So make sure you check out the blog post where the winners are announced, and don't forget to subscribe to the Syberia YouTube channel, and I will see you very soon again. Bye for now.